Pooh Shiesty.
Whoa.
How Pooh Shiesty's father is a government informant.
Whoa.
This is gonna be one of the craziest videos of 2026.
9 individuals,
Damn.
well-known musical artists, kidnapped
That
and
nigga
robbed
said
at
that
gunpoint.
nigga dad was an informant. For how long? Since that old Fold bullshit that happened with the radio or something like that? Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
First victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty.
It was several hours before sunup when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached.
It sounded like Gucci cooperated. It sounded like the victim. Gucci was a victim and gave his testimony. Come on over here with me, Gucci. It's all right. It's all right to go and be civilian. Yeah. Come on. Come on over here with me, Gucci. Press charges on their ass.
Flashbangs would pop off the federal search warrant of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty's home on April 1st, 2026. The next day, the United States Attorney for Northern Texas would announce 9 individuals, including well-known rappers, were federally charged with kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas.
That's how you know that shit gonna be
Texas.
That's how you know that shit gonna be OC as shit with the judge and shit. Like, damn gang, like, not did you just, you know what I'm saying? They really just put that kidnapping shit on your ass. That motherfucker probably gonna try to make that shit stick, gang. Cause that nigga wanted him to sign the contract. You feel me? That's all the evidence they need. Look, that nigga signed the contract. However he said he made him sign it, shit, that must be how it happened. You feel me? We gotta go down. You feel me? They probably don't even got that shit, but they got evidence though. Fuck.
8 of the 9 were arrested in one day, including Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams
fucking
Jr.,
day, damn.
aka Pooh Shiesty, his father Lontrell Williams Sr., Memphis rapper Rodney Wright, aka Big 30, and 6 others. A 32-page sealed criminal complaint would state on January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., 3 victims were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio. The criminal complaint would list the 3 victims by their initials, RD, MM, and BP. But we all know RD is Roderick Davis, the 46-year-old Atlanta rap legend known as Gucci Mane. At approximately 1 p.m. that day, the victims flew into Dallas alongside Gucci's head of security and an additional security officer for a scheduled meeting with Pooh Shiesty, who'd been signed to Gucci's 1017 label since 2021. The meeting was scheduled because Shiesty was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from the label, so he asked Gucci to meet about business. At approximately 1:45, Gucci and his team arrived at the meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. Upon entering the building, they realized the recording studio was closed. In the meantime, they went to a nearby liquor store. Pooh Shiesty's father, who's more commonly known throughout the streets of Memphis as Mob Boss, ran an independent label named Mob Ties Records. Boss would call the owner of the Dallas recording studio at 2:53 p.m., trying to book the studio for Shiesty and Gucci to record music. This was over an hour after Gucci had already arrived. 22 minutes after the call, the studio was open to Gucci and his team. A short time later, Mob Boss could be seen on surveillance video speaking on his cell phone outside the building before entering. At 3:39, a production employee would arrive while Pooh Shiesty and his father were standing at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. Just minutes later, Shiesty, along with his father, Big 30, and 6 others, would enter the east side of the building, walking through the lobby and into the studio. One of the suspects at a later time would be seen exiting before shortly returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. All 9 suspects entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. Gucci's head of security was positioned in the lobby, while the other guard remained in the vehicle. The victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone, possibly with his federal parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out on rec time. From what the victims could hear, Shiesty was told on the phone that was not the case, and he needed to return immediately, to which he agreed. At the time, Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor. Gucci would tell Shiesty that
nigga brought his own, like, yeah, this nigga was on a band for, but nigga did the whole shit with the shit on his ankle monitor, OC and shit. That's OC as shit. You might as well just goddamn call their ass before you do that shit. Hey, I'm finna rob my CEO. I'm finna rob somebody, all type of shit, and I got on gunpoint, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just be like, hey, y'all last one looking, so look, we finna rob his ass, all type of shit. They probably like, I bet you won't, I bet you won't, all type of shit. That's what it's like, bro. You did the whole, bro, your ankle monitor was on the scene. Damn, bro, fuck.
They can reschedule their studio session, but Shiesty asked
you can't say you wasn't there, Dave.
Attached recording room. Gucci would enter the room with Pooh Shiesty, his father, and Big 30. The 2 other victims would remain with the 6 suspects, even offering them drinks as 2 of the suspects accepted and poured up. Inside the booth, Shiesty pulled out a contract termination letter telling Gucci to sign it, releasing him from the label. Gucci refused. Shiesty became agitated, and the 2 began to argue. The 2 victims could see the conversation play out, and one of them saw the conversation intensifying, so he texted Gucci's head of security, who was still in the lobby. While arguing, Shiesty instructed Big 30 to get his bag. Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. If you've ever needed access to your money before payday, this to your funds earlier when you actually need them. Paycheck advance is clearly my favorite part, and I'm sure will be yours too. But if you're trying to build your credit status, if you their finance, while Shiesty, Pooh's father, and Big 30 stood by. Big 30 took out his cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say he released Pooh Shiesty from his contract.
I'm dead.
Signing, Pooh Shiesty would take Gucci's wedding ring.
Did he put it on the Instagram?
Watch.
Hey, we gotta stop nigging. We gotta stop nigging.
Shiesty then handed the paperwork to his father.
Niggas started recording and said, hey, bitch ass nigga, tell him what you doing right now. You signing this shit? Release my nigga out that shit.
Next to his signature.
Yo.
As Shiesty, 30, and Mob Boss exited the recording room, the 6 remaining suspects pulled handguns, AR, and AK pistols and began robbing Gucci's 2 associates. One victim, identified only as BP, would have his pockets ran and his wallet removed by who he identified as CMO Damn Fool, one of Shiesty's goons. His 1017 chain would be taken by another man he knew as Glizzy 375. Glizzy would repeatedly threaten to shoot him for moving, but Shiesty would instruct him not to. According to the victim's statement to police, he witnessed Big 30 pointing a cell phone at Gucci within the booth, but assumed he was taking pictures for social media. Victim BP further identified Baby Slime 375 for holding him and others at gunpoint. Victim BP and victim MM would identify KD 375, who they also recognized, as he can be seen on social media with Pooh Shiesty. KD would also hold them at gunpoint. Victim MM is rumored to be Matt Marzal, who goes by the name Multi-Mars. He's a Chicago-based photographer and has been Gucci's personal cameraman for years. It was also Matt who texted Gucci's head of security when he saw the conversation within the recording booth intensifying. Matt was choked from behind, almost to the point of losing consciousness, resulting in scratches to his neck and wrist. He'd be robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple high-end watches, and his wallet. He'd confirmed to police his Louis bag, wallet, and AirPods all had an Apple AirTag attached, and he was...
I want it. Damn, and then they got a fucking... Like air tag around that bitch? Oh, hell no. Hell no. You can have that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I seen that he pulled up with a white boy, I probably wouldn't even do what the fuck we was supposed to do. Like, hey, we need a rain check or we gonna do this shit later or some shit. But I got a fucking white boy here. Of course they gonna snitch on you, you feel me? But nah, white boy, he giving it up.
Also
boy.
able to identify his robber by his Instagram handle of Twin CMO. While the robbery was taking place, Big 30 walked to the door leading to the lobby, closing it, and blocking it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving. But Gucci's security would see what was taking place. Both of Gucci's security guards would draw guns, attempting to force themselves in as they partially opened the door, only to see that they were greatly outgunned. Gucci was pushed onto a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Shiesty placed the barrel of his Draco to the back of BP's head, ordering him and Gucci to leave the studio through the west side of the building. Gucci then instructed his security to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, Gucci's cameraman turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked if they were really taking his watches. Matt would provide
Awesome
police with the
shit.
last AirTag locations, which was revealed to be the parking lot of an apartment leased to Pooh Shiesty's father, where Pooh is believed to have been residing in Frisco, Texas. Federal investigators would recover photos of the suspect vehicles, a white Buick Enclave, a black Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with a roll bar. According to law enforcement databases, Big 30's father owns a 2020 Dodge Hellcat in Tennessee, and license plate readers would place it in Texas during the relevant time period of the robbery and traveling with the two other suspect vehicles. The white Enclave was found to be a rental, rented by none other than Shiesty's dad. Federal investigators would find surveillance video of Shiesty's dad at a Staples, printing out what they believed to be the release contract an hour before he arrived at the studio. The feds would also link all suspects together by cell phone GPS coordinates and would reveal Shiesty's goons were so poor, 4 of them would have to take a Greyhound bus from Texas back to Memphis, Tennessee. Now remember when the victims offered Shiesty's goons drinks? A left ring finger and right thumbprint would identify the 2 suspects that took drinks as they left their prints on the red cups. The victims obviously knew who Pooh Shiesty was, and Gucci Mane would be listed as one of the victims who identified Shiesty as wearing a Nike mask and hoodie during the robbery. Gucci would also name Big 30 and identify him by his Instagram. In fact, almost every suspect was able to be identified by their Instagram handles. KD would be described as Shiesty's right-hand man. Damn Fool lives up to his name, as he could be seen leaving wearing Gucci's cameraman's Louis bag. He'd then post a video to Instagram wearing one of the stolen watches, and another picture would show him wearing the same sneakers worn in the robbery. Twin, who choked out the cameraman, would post multiple pictures of another stolen watch and even the 1017 chain that was taken.
It's just like, that's what I was talking about. Like, we gotta stop nigging, gang. Like, us black people, shout out academics, bro. We gotta stop nigging. You feel me? Like, soon as we rob somebody and shit like that, especially like Gucci fucking man. You know what I'm saying? Took a little chain from him and shit, a little ring and a watch, goddamn some bands, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stop putting that shit on the goddamn, whatever it was, a fucking close friend, motherfucking post, whatever, gang. Like, we gotta stop doing that, man. Because they got this shit in the paperwork, gang. Look, it just look goofy, man, you know.
Shiesty and his team executed a coordinated armed recording studio takeover, temporarily kidnapping fucking Gucci Mane, robbing the shit out of him and his team, making his security look like bitches, and leaving the scene without firing a single shot. Fully cooperate with police, leading to a federal takedown and kidnapping charges. More charges can be expected as yet again Pooh Shiesty is alleged to be a felon in possession of another Draco after having just finished a prison sentence for shooting someone in the ass with a Draco. All 9 suspects will be facing life in federal prison for conspiring to and committing kidnapping. And I can only...
That life, boy. That's a bit.
Crazy. Imagine what else the feds can add on with all the firepower and priors.
It's like that was ready for that shit. It will also
be interesting to see who chooses to cooperate against who, as Pooh Shiesty's father is no stranger to the feds. Back in 2007, Mob Boss was indicted on drug charges and would be sentenced to 70 months in prison after receiving a 5K1 sentencing reduction for his ongoing and future cooperation with the government, meaning he was snitching and agreed to keep snitching. So this whole fucking case is snitch nasty. Gucci just fucked over Atlanta as the most rat-infested city in hip-hop, adding himself to the list of snitches after Young Thug gave investigators the longest interview of his career. Gunna flipped on Thug. Gunna did Crime Stoppers. T.I. started the Crime Stoppers wave. And Gucci is best friends with QCP. Gucci would even jump on live after the federal takedown was announced, and you'd think he'd talk about how he's far from the streets and too rich to abide by them like QCP did. But instead, Gucci was talking about the exact opposite, saying he'll smoke whoever steps to him, he doesn't believe in telling the police shit, and he's keeping it street. The exact opposite of what he did.
You stuck to me, I'ma smoke you. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Keep it in the street.
Some are even now pointing out
that nigga's off the meds, gang. You know what I'm saying? That's just a facade, man. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? As a big ass name he got his own label and all type of shit. You feel me? So, and that's the feds. You feel me? He not the only one that they said his security was a duty cop. Like his ass just let this shit happen. Like that's crazy as fuck though. Like what am I paying you for? You feel me? All y'all just getting just swept, all type of shit. This nigga white boy got choked out. Of course he gone, you know what I'm saying? Gucci, you know what I'm saying? He fucked him over. That shit probably felt this hard, but you know what I'm saying? I would have seen that nigga Gucci over there, he finna drop. Everybody he locked up, but shit, hey, Gucci probably gonna, you know what I'm saying, do what you do, but that ain't the same Gucci, bro. That ain't the same Gucci from the 2000s, folks. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind for what he did, shit. Hey, Todd, what's your label and shit, man? Protect your label, nigga. Shit. Go ahead.
Gucci's old interview speaking on Jeezy, trying to get him killed.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Do you have any like
your ass still smoking Pookie, man? Or what
indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just what you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like detect, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
G.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like I guess it's scared of competition.
Now Pooh Shiesty just fucked himself after committing the dumbest robbery with his dad being a whole government informant, and Big 30's big door blocking ass is now facing life just because he wanted to be there. Never mind.
All he doing is just closing the door. I mean, shit, we riding together. Fuck it. You feel me?
A case that no one
my brother riding, I'm riding.
One of the fastest crash shows we've ever seen from a rapper fresh out of prison. This is likely the last time we'll ever see.
He ain't even fresh yet, for real,
in the free world. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Hearing Gucci Mane snitched, I was in disbelief. Gucci has been one of my favorite rappers since high school. One of the main rappers I listened to in high school. And seeing the paperwork, it broke my heart. And then like 3 minutes later, I got over it. I mean, what the fuck do we expect in 2026? This man's 46 years old. I highly doubt he gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They took his wedding ring, whatever other shit he had. He goes live talking about he'll smoke somebody. He should have smoked Pooh Shiesty. You know, it would have been a bang out. He really wouldn't have won that situation.
Oh God, bro, it was like 9 of them niggas locked up, so they had to be 10 deep in that studio. You feel me? Like, if I know I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Try to do my 1-2, cause I ain't going like that. You feel me? Like, but that nigga just let him have that shit.
I don't know why his security wasn't in the room with him.
Like, what's the point?
But Texas self-defense, yeah, he would have got off on that. He should have had some shit on him. You can tell he did not expect this at all. Nobody did.
But that was probably gonna.
Nobody
him,
did.
bro.
When Seti Nash broke the news, nobody even believed him because they were like, "Ain't no fucking way they playing with Gucci Mane like that." Gucci Mane got did dirty.
Look at my videos.
And it's 100% confirmed. He's cooperated. Not only did he identify what Pooh Shiesty was wearing and identify Big 30 by his Instagram, how do you think the feds know exactly what took place inside of that booth? None of the other witnesses were in there, and they couldn't hear what was being said. If you're in a music studio, you can't hear what they're saying in the booth if you're not in the booth and they're not talking on the mic. That means Gucci was the one that told them. We went in there. We started arguing. He pulled out this piece of paper. I said no. He tells fucking 30 to go get his bag. He pulls out a fucking Draco, took all my shit. Gucci told the police all of that information.
I will.
100%.
Yeah. But it's like,
What the
who
fuck
gives
is
a
Atlanta
fuck?
gonna do about it? Not a goddamn thing. We know that.
Okay.
Everybody knows that. You know, snitching ain't nothing anymore. And it's crazy because a lot of the rappers that we looked up to, Gucci being one of them, was against all of that shit. And that's why these videos are so important, because you can be young and dumb as I once was, riding around listening to these songs, toting guns like they're doing in these songs, committing crimes like they're rapping about in these songs, just for you to get caught, for you to keep that shit real, for you to get sentenced to all that prison time, and the motherfucker that influenced you to live that lifestyle is a fucking rat. And that's the cold, hard truth about this shit.
Niggas get brainwashed like that. You feel me? Everybody's been brainwashed before. Fuck it, this nigga. Man, I don't even want to say what the fuck I was about to say. Fuck it.